kind of like our company newsletter, if you will. And just an opportunity to be able to provide you with updates and, answer any questions or concerns that you may have. With only 2 people in here, it's going to be a little short, but excuse me, I put red peppers on my pizza. What was I going to say? Oh, so we broadcast live. So once you guys are out in your truck or whatever on Fridays at 4:15, thereabouts, if you ever want to listen in on our driver's Facebook page, we list the phone number, to be able to dial in and let you know who the speaker will be every Friday. So you can either listen in live, or at the same time that this is streaming live, it also records, and we will post it on that same Facebook page, or you can go on to our combined website, and all of our roundtable recordings are on there. So you could go back a couple of years if you wanted to and listen to roundtable recordings. So I know that we've already met today, but if you wouldn't mind, for the listeners, letting us know your name, what division you're in, and how long you've been with the company. And it doesn't matter if you're still in training or not. Let's start off with you.
My name is Matthew. I'm part of the dedicated water division. And I'm still in training with the company.
And what part of training are you in?
The 6-week course or 7-week course.
So you were a student and came to us?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. I like it when we have students. And you, sir? Sorry.
Mike Plenty, been here for a week. Got 14 years of driving experience.
That's awesome. And you're going to what lane?
What's that?
What lane are you going to be doing?
Walmart.
Walmart and Hermiston.
Hermiston, Grandview.
Yeah, Grandview. And then you, Frank, would you mind introducing yourself and letting us know what you do here?
My name's Frank. I do custodial and sometimes I do maintenance.
That's right. You're kind of a jack of all trades, huh?
I try to keep it clean for you guys, and you guys do a very good job of cleaning up after yourselves.
And then how long have you been here for, Frank?
Total of 6.
Yeah, that's awesome. So, it takes a village, right? So, we really appreciate everything that Frank does for us, because he absolutely maintains the driver's lounge for you guys and all facilities really on the property, and sometimes over at the White House as well. And then, he really cares about your guys' well-being. So he does a lot for us, and we really appreciate him. So I'm going to do this roundtable a little bit differently. Honestly, it's because I did not have any time to prepare. So I've been, I guess I should let the listeners know that Jeannie Vincent is no longer with the company. She had an opportunity to grow somewhere else, and so that's where she went. And she was the licensing and compliance manager. And so I'm currently training Dan Ferrero. He moved from heavy haul sales and dispatch over to the licensing and compliance department. This is the end of his first week in there. So please be patient. We're trying to get through it. Things are taking a little bit longer, a lot longer than what they should, because we've never had to do this job before, and there was minimal training opportunities. So with our powers combined, we will figure it out and everything will be good. So Jessica Rios, our HR manager, sent out a company newsletter today, and it goes out to all corporate employees and to all of the drivers. So every quarter you can expect that. But in the meantime, we use our logistics Facebook page and sometimes the driver's Facebook page for updates throughout the quarter. So we recognize birthdays, anniversaries. I post a lot of safety stuff on there, and CSA updates, clean inspections, stuff like that. Drivers who get them, just to be able to recognize you. So keep an eye out for that, because it's fun and it kind of keeps you informed, and you get to know any changes changes that occurred. So I wanted to read this to you because I'm not sure if you guys had an opportunity to see it or not, but Mike Card wrote a letter in the quarterly newsletter, and it's titled "The Rise and Fall of COVID." Mike Card says, "First of all, I want to thank each and every employee of Combined Transport and Blackwell Consolidation for working through the pandemic. While the pandemic may not be officially over, and I am sure there will be more variants to come, I do believe we are seeing the fall of COVID being such a big story in the news and in our lives. Last year, every aspect of our lives was affected. Toilet paper was gone, restaurants shut down, people were not allowed to leave their homes in some cases. In the middle of that, our management team pushed to give each of our employees a $1,000 bonus for being heroes. I was happy to oblige. The shutdowns that the government imposed on all of us are a thing of the past. Vaccines are now here and working. Hospitalizations and deaths are declining. Yes, there are still high risks for some people, and we need to continue to be vigilant with reducing the spread of the disease, but I truly believe that we are seeing the demise of the horrors of 2020 and 2021. Even the Spanish flu of 1918-1919 only lasted 2 years, and they didn't even have vaccines back then. However, we should never forget how the trucking industry rose up to help our nation survive. I can honestly say that without the trucking industry, our nation would have collapsed and many, many more people would have died. I wonder how close it came when some government official had to decide if trucking was essential or not. I am the chairman of the Oregon Travel and Information Council's Rest Area Committee. This council's responsibility is to take care of most of the important rest areas in Oregon. When the governor decided to shut down the state agencies during the pandemic, she incorrectly and disastrously decided to also close the rest areas. Luckily, we in the state of Oregon had a trucker at the wheel of the rest areas, and I told the governor we had to leave them open. Thankfully, she agreed. It is not only the government who needs to be reminded of the importance and essentiality of the trucking industry. Many times I hear of some four-wheeler that complains about trucks on the highways. Don't they get it? Without us, they wouldn't even have fuel to drive their cars and RVs. It is incumbent upon all of us to educate our friends and family about the essentiality of what we do. Will everyone remember what we did to keep their store shelves filled during the worst pandemic in a generation? The recent supply chain issues may keep our importance alive a little longer. We can't allow the government and the driving public to go back to ignoring us as an impediment to the highways and a scapegoat for climate issues and taxes. Keep our story alive. Tell your story. What did you do during the pandemic, or the last hurricane or snowstorm? Let people know how important the trucking industry is for the success of our society and country, and keep doing what you always do. Keep on trucking. I really wanted to share that with you guys because I appreciated that he took the time to write that, and it's true. You know, whether you were with us or not with us during, the height of the pandemic, you guys are out there on the front lines and away from your families, and they shut down restaurants. It was hard for you guys to get food. I mean, you guys really are the heroes of this whole pandemic, and honestly, all the time, you guys are the unsung heroes. So I just wanted to thank everybody for their continued service and let everybody know that we appreciate you guys. And I think it's evident that Mike Card, the president of the company, also appreciates each and every one of you. Whether you're a driver or a corporate employee, doesn't matter if you're in accounting, you are the janitor, or you're a manager. Each one of us plays a vital role in the success of this company. So I really wanted to share that with you guys because it kind of struck a chord with me. What'd you guys think of it?
It was great.
Yeah? Have you ever seen a president open his door and allow you guys? Did you guys get to meet him?
Yeah.
When you came in?
We met him on Wednesday.
Yeah, and he had a meeting with you guys and gave you his new hire spiel on safety and expectations straight to the point. Have you ever known a president of the company to allow the drivers just to come on in and have a discussion, and he can welcome you and introduce you to what we expect of you and what you can expect of us, right? That's pretty neat, I think.
He's the first one I've met.
Yeah, it's pretty neat. So, in any event, I hope everybody takes the time to read that and enjoy it. says that they are continuing to grow as they add more drivers to their Walmart lane. Thanks to the help from the Career Center, we are soon to be at 18 drivers on this lane. We are continuing to stay busy as we head into the winter months. Right now, we are very focused on contract bids. These bids are very important to the department and company as a whole, as this is the business that ensures that we have a steady supply of competitive freight to keep our fleet moving while we continue looking for new customers to add to our portfolio. There was a shift of personnel as our East Coast dispatcher sales support Sophia moved over to heavy haul, and they'll be filling that spot quickly. It's great to see employees having chances to move around and advance within the company. It has been a stable at combined transport, and I think it's important that we continue to look for those opportunities. So that's general commodities for the Hermiston lane, and then Blackwell is saying that 2021 is shaping up to be an amazing year for Blackwell. Positive growth in revenue, fleet, and customer base have opened up numerous opportunities for us moving into fourth quarter and into 2022. Our dedicated fleet growth has seen an increase of nearly 20% over 2020, while we are anticipating continued positive growth for 2022. Then he goes on to say how the constraints we've felt in the market over the past year dealing with shippers and receivers seem to have plateaued, and in some cases have allowed us to realign our shipper and receiver base to better accomplish timely utilization of the driver's time. Conversations with our customers have shown that they are anticipating the constraints to continue into 2022, have voiced a commitment to continue to search for resolution while remaining loyal customers and working to compensate us accordingly. So basically, for Blackwell and a lot of shippers and receivers, were having a hard time with waiting times for, loading and unloading. And he's saying that he's working with those customers to try and alleviate that for you guys. And we're making progress, but it's industry-wide, so it's not gonna just magically be fixed overnight. Then I wanted to go over CSA. So I spoke to you guys a little bit about CSA and Safety Director Award Melissa Dockery, and we had a $1 Million Mile Award, Ray Solis, congratulations. And then there you guys are in our little welcome picture. Okay, so I explained to you guys a little bit about CSA and what that means for the drivers in the company, and how what you do out there affects all drivers and the company, right? So there's a misconception that only drivers receive CSA points, but that is not the case. The company also receives CSA points as well. And so for combined, we're over the threshold for two categories, and we're approaching a third one. So what does that mean?
Not very good.
It's not very good. So
Need to focus more.
yes, we need to be careful, be aware, make sure that we're being diligent and thorough, right, in our pre and post trip inspections and managing our hours of service. And we're over the threshold for driver fitness. We're at 86%, which is a decrease from 87%, but the threshold is 75%. Do you guys know what falls under the driver fitness category? So when I first started here, I thought it was like how fit you guys are, but it's not. It's your med card, being up to date and filed with the DMV after getting it, right? It's CDL expired violations. So sometimes drivers who owe past due child support, aren't home to receive the letters from child support that their CDL is going to be suspended,
Right.
And then all of a sudden it goes through and it doesn't communicate with all states, but then all of a sudden you're in California and they communicated with California, right? So it's stuff like that. It's I see that you're wearing eyeglasses. It's drivers not wearing their eyeglasses with restrictions on their license, hearing aids. There was a driver who had a prosthetic and was not wearing the prosthetic. So it's all of those types of violations that are killing us. So unsafe driving is 25%, decreased from 28%. The threshold is 65%. Hours of service compliance is 86%, an increase from 80%. threshold is 65%. And I'll tell you, the most common violations that we're receiving with hours of service is false record of duty status. And so what does that mean? Do you guys know what false record of duty status is?
They are using the wrong status and keeping on, yeah.
So they're utilizing personal conveyance to benefit the company or to advance a load.
When they're actually over the 14 hours and
Yes.
still driving.
Yes. So, we encourage you guys to utilize personal conveyance, but you have to actually use it for what it's meant to be. And, there are some loopholes, but we don't recommend that you guys utilize those loopholes. Just keep it cut and dry and keep it safe, Use it to get to the next truck stop with facilities. Even if it's in the direction of your next load, that's okay. But you have to stop at the next facility or the next location with facilities, right? You can't go 200 miles down the road and then tell DOT that you're trying to find a safe place to park with facilities. That's not how it works. You have to actually go to the next one. So we've been having a major issue with that. Some more hours of service compliance violations that we're receiving is not having blank logbooks in your truck. So even though we're on ELDs, you guys are still required to carry how many days worth? 8 days, exactly. And then another silly one is general form and manner, not adding the trailers, the trailer numbers or the additional information on the ELD of what trailer you're using to haul the freight, stuff like that. And another one is not having an instruction sheet for the ELD, which should be in your licensing book. So make sure that you get that when you guys do your truck assignment. There should also, and actually on the ELD is a user manual. So we've gotten a couple of those violations. And so even if it's not with your licensing book, it is in the ELD. So all you have to do is find the user manual in the ELD. So make sure that you have those types of things with you. Vehicle maintenance, here's the one where we're approaching the threshold on, which would make it 3 categories that we're over. Vehicle maintenance is 75%. We did decrease from last month from 77%, but we are 5% away from reaching that threshold. So why do you think we're receiving so many vehicle maintenance violations?
What's that?
Why do you think we're receiving so many vehicle maintenance violations?
Because drivers are just ignoring the message and keeping on driving.
Well, so they're
And
not
then
doing
they are
proper
not doing
pre and
proper
post.
pre-trips
Exactly.
and everything else.
Yep,
Just
they're not.
wanting to get up and go.
Yep, they're not doing proper pre and post trip inspections is the main thing, and they're not maintaining their tires. Which everything can be caught within a pre and post trip inspection. So please, please, please do them. I know that we get complacent. I've seen drivers log a 3-minute pre-trip inspection. If I was DOT and I came up to you and said, show me your pre-trip inspection in 3 minutes, could you do it?
No.
Log what you do. Log what you do and do a proper pre and post trip inspection. It is imperative. And if we get over the threshold of too many categories, Combined Transport could receive an on-site or off-site audit, and then we could get dinged for, missing paperwork or what have you, whatever they find that we weren't thorough enough on or whatever. I think that we would be good, but it's never a fun experience. So I've been through one log audit and one off-site DOT audit, and it's very time consuming and takes us away from being able to, make sure that you guys have freight and new customers and focus on you guys, right? So then 0% controlled substance, and our crash indicator is 18%, which is an increase from 10%. So those are DOT reportable accidents. We're nowhere near the threshold though. So our ISS recommendation, what that is DOT's recommendation for whether we get inspected or not, get pulled into the scales, right? We are at a 95 or 96, which means that their recommendation is to inspect for safety. So we are getting pulled in to the scale houses more times than not, everywhere. most I've heard. But it's happening everywhere. So you gotta, and the more times you get pulled into a scale, the more chance there is of they're finding something, right? So that's why some of these continue to climb. So Blackwell remains under all the thresholds. Congratulations, Blackwell, that is very good. So unsafe driving is 12%, the threshold is 65%, hours of service is 54%, which is a decrease from 58%, the threshold is 65%, so that's climbing. I mean, it's not in the danger zone yet, but we really need to be careful. Driver fitness does not have a rating because we have less than 5 inspections with violations. Vehicle maintenance is at 52, which is a decrease from 53. The threshold is 80, so we're good there. Controlled substance is 0, no change, and crash is 12%, decrease from 23%. So you guys are good. Your ISS score is 37, which is a decrease from 38, and the recommendation is pass. So you guys are good, but I just wanted to express the importance. You know, I don't agree with the way that they measure everything. In fact, they're looking to change it. But it is what it is, and it's there, so we have to be mindful of it, right? So I don't want to keep you guys much longer. I just wanted to touch on one other hot topic, and you guys have heard that the administration is wanting companies with 100 or more employees to vaccinate, right, or test weekly. And the ATA, so the American Trucking Association, has made recommendations and fought really hard for the truck drivers and trucking companies. And it has been determined that if you are a solo driver, and it's not confirmed yet, but ATA announced that you will not have to vaccinate because you do not have to vaccinate if you work from home, and the cab of your truck is considered to be your home. And also, you don't have to vaccinate if you are an outside worker, and you guys are an outside worker. So there is a loophole there, and we're really hoping that that is going to uphold. I've had some drivers contact me concerned that they did not want to vaccinate for COVID-19, and quite frankly, we had concerns on how we would make sure that you guys tested weekly. You know, we would have to hire somebody just to monitor that. So we do believe that there's a loophole. There's no reason to worry for the drivers. So that's a win for us so far. So I don't know if you guys were concerned about that or not, but you know, we had a driver that was going to leave our company for a really good truck driving job, but he ended up not going because that place announced the day that he was supposed to go there that he would have to vaccinate in order to be hired. So I know that it's a hot topic and it can be a deal breaker. And we don't want you guys to go anywhere, so we're gonna fight as hard as we can for the ones who do not want to vaccinate. So in any event, I appreciate everybody listening and being here with me, and I hope everybody has a good weekend.